going to be the face of boxing. Are you now?
I'm definitely face of boxing.
And then Lamont Roach comes into the ring, and listen, regardless, like Lamont Roach came in there and he was confident. And I don't think a lot of people believed that he was going to be able to get it done against Tank. People thought that Tank was going to knock him out.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach engaged in an intense face-off before their upcoming rematch. Davis cautioned Roach to keep his wife and children away from the event, stating he's had enough of the constant trash talk. The atmosphere was charged, with both fighters trading sharp words, making it clear that this feud is deeply rooted and personal.
Now I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah,
now watch this.
They gonna
now
be
watch.
There. They gonna be
now
there.
watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago when you said that?
You know how when they told you say how like I supposed to fought Lomachenko, right? And like how he said like he was retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what
Is that all it takes
want.
for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah.
The showdown between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has moved beyond being just another fight on their resumes. It's become a pivotal moment in both of their careers. Davis, long regarded as an almost invincible knockout artist, encountered unexpected resistance from Roach during their first encounter. That battle forced a reevaluation of both fighters' abilities, as Roach uncovered weaknesses that had been hidden beneath Davis's usual dominance. With his composed technique and strategic approach, Roach not only gained respect, but also a firm belief that he could stand toe-to-toe with one of boxing's most intimidating figures. This shift has altered the course of their rivalry and laid the groundwork for what's ahead.
But they've known each other. These two have known each other for a while. Does Lamont Roach just understand a way to beat or frustrate Tank in a way that others don't? You know what I mean? Like, has he just found it, so to speak? Like, I have a lot I want to find out after that, because the first fight was so controversial. I think leaving it up to a draw is fine, whatever, even though under the letter of the law, Tank probably should have lost this fight, and probably would have if they counted the knockdown when he took a knee. He blamed it on Greece. Roach a real shot, even though I still would say Tank figures it out and gets it done and takes it more seriously this time.
Yeah, I think that because they're so familiar with each other, like these guys fought each other when they were kids. And then Lamont Roach comes into the ring, and listen, regardless, like Lamont Roach came in there and he was confident. And I don't think a lot of people believed that he was going to be able to get it done against Tank. People thought that Tank was going to knock him out. Here's the thing, though. Tank is actually super skilled. Like, he doesn't throw a lot. When he does, he's extremely accurate, but he does have skill. And what he does is he reels in.
There's more at stake in this rematch than just a victory. It's about pride, redemption, and legacy. Gervonta Davis has been outspoken about his frustration with the draw in their last encounter, viewing it as an undeserved stain on his record. The unresolved outcome has only fueled his determination. Lamont Roach, however, stands firm in his belief that he earned that result through hard work and discipline. For him, the rematch is an opportunity to solidify his place and prove his influence. With both fighters stepping into the ring carrying unfinished business, their drive runs deep, setting the stage for an intense and emotional battle.
Lamont Roach throwing his hands fast as hell. He's in the gym preparing. I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. As far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't, because I think Tank is coming for blood. He's not going to pull his punches at all. I don't think he really did the first time, but I'm not sure how well he prepared or how mentally focused he was. I think you're going to get the very best Tank in a rematch, and you may just get an even better Lamont Roach, since Lamont Roach don't have to speculate if he's good enough. He fought Tank. he has more confidence now than he did before, and he felt that he was robbed. So he's going to be on one. I think the rematch is going to be far more exciting.
Davis has always performed well under pressure, but this training camp has brought out a heightened level of focus. He is preparing not just to win, but to dominate. His mindset has shifted towards sharpening his ring intelligence and addressing the defensive gaps that Roach exploited in their previous bout. While he's still known for his devastating power, Davis is now emphasizing timing and counter tactics to neutralize Roach's speed and accuracy. The criticism that followed their first meeting has only intensified his drive, pushing him to reaffirm his place at the top of the division. Every training session is a reflection of his determination to remind the boxing world why he once seemed untouchable.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he gonna go in there confident thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So, yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against, like, somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's going to fold. You're going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's going to get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. Confident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from the situation. That's why I think he being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning, like when he was with Floyd. Like, I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got, like, a little bit more.
While Davis trains to reclaim his throne, Roach is preparing to take it with focused determination. He approaches the rematch with a steady mindset, neither overly confident nor shaken. Roach's game plan centers on growth, adjustment, and strategic foresight. He's openly recognized the strengths Davis brings into the ring. Yet he refuses to let those overshadow the strides he's made. Displaying a maturity beyond his age, Roach highlights the importance of discipline and patience, making it clear that he's not depending on past flashes of success, but on thorough preparation. This mindset shapes him into a smarter, sharper, and more formidable version of the fighter Davis once encountered.
The rematches that you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor.
From the moment Roach returned to camp, his training has carried a clear sense of purpose and intensity. Every movement is intentional, every round handled with focus. Nothing is left to routine. Rather than simply increasing volume, Roach has prioritized precision. His team has methodically recreated Davis's pace, pressure, and angles to ensure he steps into the ring ready for any situation. The dedication to sharpening his footwork, enhancing timing, and reinforcing the core essentials reveals a fighter unwilling to leave anything to chance. Roach isn't preparing just to hold his own. He's aiming to take control and dominate.
Lamont Roach.
in training camp, ready for one of the biggest rematches in 2025 against Gervonta Tank Davis, one of the biggest faces in boxing. What a man.
Keyshawn Davis, a rising figure in boxing commentary and a skilled fighter in his own right, shared an insightful perspective on the evolving Davis-Roach storyline. According to Keyshawn, Gervonta Davis might be grappling with internal doubts that extend beyond just physical readiness. He points out that Davis, despite his accomplishments and natural ability, could be hitting a mental plateau, a quiet fading of the intensity that once made him a relentless presence in the ring. This isn't about a lack of talent, but rather a possible dip in drive, hunger, and concentration. If accurate, it could show up as a loss of sharpness, timing, or urgency in key moments of the fight.
Which version he shows up with, and no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespectful to Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third. So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Tate's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like.
On the flip side, Lamont Roach is portrayed as a fighter on the rise, confident, locked in, and fueled by purpose. Keyshawn views him as someone with everything to gain and nothing to lose, fully embracing the underdog role with unwavering determination. This stark contrast shifts the narrative of the fight from just a physical showdown to a psychological war. The real question becomes, will Davis reignite the drive that once made him untouchable, or will Roach's momentum and mental sharpness overpower him? Keyshawn's perspective highlights the emotional and psychological layers of elite boxing, where mindset can be just as crucial as skill or conditioning in determining the winner.
Lost the love for the sport, and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around two of his attention. Is like shit, that's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is he's still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got the same love he had for the sport when
Conversations with Roach's inner circle reveal the calculated strategy fueling his preparation. His father, a constant figure in his boxing journey, pointed out that Davis approached their first encounter with measured caution, not out of fear, but as a tactical choice in response to Roach's unpredictable style and ability to adjust mid-fight. Roach's camp believes this initial hesitation gave them a mental edge, one they now plan to expand on. They suggest there were also behind-the-scenes pressures that pushed the original fight forward, possibly against Davis's own instincts, a factor that adds layers of intrigue and political tension to the rematch. Heading into this second bout, their strategy centers on exploiting Davis's early caution by ramping up pressure and dictating the pace from the opening bell. Roach's team is confident that the psychological groundwork laid in the first clash will pay off now. Further whispers of outside influence, industry-driven decisions that may have rushed the original fight introduce another dimension: blending. The rematch with the politics of boxing promotion and matchmaking. For Team Roach, this isn't just a sequel, it's a next phase of a strategy they believe has already begun to unfold in their favor.
You gonna see the difference. I mean, I believe we want to fight. Nobody can tell us different. The majority of the world believe we want to fight. So you're gonna see. Both of them gonna raise their level. Both of them. So
yeah,
they're gonna make for a greater fight. But
no way, neither of them are gonna knock each other out. It's gonna go the distance.
Legacy stands at the heart of Roach's mission. This isn't just another paycheck or a brief brush with fame. For him, it's about etching his name into boxing's history. A victory over Gervonta Davis would elevate Roach to a new tier, marking the rise of a polished and dangerous contender in the division. He's spoken openly about his belief in earning respect through performance, not publicity. Every aspect of his preparation, from his nutrition and choice of sparring partners to his media approach, has been tailored to support that broader goal. Roach isn't chasing just a win. He's chasing a defining moment, one that will shape how his career is remembered.
Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, the body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round. But as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. So Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think he'll stop Roach in the rematch.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.